If y'all are here, thanks for hopping on. And first off, I thought it would be helpful to come in and make sure that we had this call. I'm sorry that we didn't have the last one on Tuesday. It was went to the hospital and there's a minor scare, but things are okay for now, and we will stay tuned, and we'll probably be going back to the hospital soon because the little guy wants to come out early, and apparently with modern medicine, it's not the end of the world. So that's how that is on that. Do you guys just see a black square? Is there just a black square in there, or did that get fixed? Hopefully that got fixed for you guys. So let's move past that. Second thing I want to talk about here is the congressional hearings, right? I don't know if you guys saw that. Most of you guys did. It was kind of broke the internet, as it should have. But I thought that Zuck's obviously won both days. And for me, what I had always anticipated this. When people ask me how long they thought things were going to happen, I said let's wait until the until Zuck testifies, and then we'll see what happens, right? And it could have either gone really bad or it could have gone really, really good. And frankly, I think a lot of people came away from it thinking that the senators and the idiot, were the idiots in the situation. So with that being said, I don't think that the end of bots has come, right? I don't think that it has spawned the end of Facebook. In fact, Facebook stock was actually going up as he was testifying, ironically. So with that being said, I think that it's really, really important to continue to move forward. Now, let's talk about the direction of this accelerator program. And I'm sorry to give you guys kind of a fairy tale or a history lesson, however you want to, but I think it's important given the context of what this call is going to be about, and given where the direction of this program, because it started out really as a way to help people learn how to use chatbots. That was really the big thing. Started the program almost a year ago, and in the early beta testers, one of the early things was figuring out how to use it, what buttons to click, what things to push, right? How to connect things. I mean, I think that there's a very basic thing, basic necessity of how to get those things set up, and those are all very still important. Now, those are in the course. Unfortunately, most of them are for many crash, but we are going to be putting a full chat fuel course into our accelerator program that will basically give you the A through Z on how to be able to basically give you the A through Z on how to use chat fuel. So let me see if I can kind of bring this up here. I don't know if this is going to work. Hopefully it does. I haven't bought Microsoft Office because I think it's a sham. But with that being said, we are going to really focus on the tactical aspect of it. Like, I don't want that to go away. I don't want that to ever leave this part or leave this program, because that's what it was founded on, was really how to build stuff, right? And it's called From Noob to Ninja, and you'll see like everything from how to create a bot, how to clone it, like the basics of it, the intro, right? AI configurations, all that stuff. How blocks, the essential things that a bot must have, right? How to use the cards, all those things are. I'm gonna zoom in here. It's not letting me. So all those things, right? User attributes, that's going to be a big part of it, right? And then all the way up to even the development aspect. So this is in the pipe. This is coming, because I don't ever want that aspect of it to leave. However, with that being said, we are going to continue to focus on the second aspect, which is how do you create a funnel that converts with your chatbot. That's the second thing that's really, really important, is not only what buttons do we click, but how do we create a converting funnel? And then how do we adjust it? If we weren't live here, or if this wasn't being recorded, I'd go in and show you some of my clients' stuff. And like, what's interesting is we are making numerous changes and adjustments, and we're tweaking. Hey, do we put the custom user input here? Do we put it here? What kind of follow-up do we send? Do we like our first follow-up, our message is 3 minutes after they come into the sequence, right? Like those types of things are very, very important, tactically speaking, in creating campaigns that are successful. So that's the second thing, and that obviously is gonna, that's really my passion, frankly, is creating converting campaigns. That's just where my brain goes when I'm bored or when I'm watching stupid commercials. However, the last thing is building an agency, right? The last thing is building an agency, and that's what really it comes down to. And what I think is that there are two aspects of this, right? There are two aspects of anything. There is the learning process, right? There is the skill level, there is the actual how-tos, and then the second aspect of it is the tools, right? The softwares, the platforms that you do it with. And so in my head, I never I really don't like the idea of just selling a course, because frankly, I've never really gotten a whole lot of value out of a course I've bought. Frankly, it wasn't just the course, right? It was usually the course or the connections or the community or the coaching that comes from it, right? Like, it wasn't just the course. It was about much more. It was about much more than that, right? And so in my head, I was almost going to stop building the the accelerator program, and I was just going to shut it down and focus on building my agency. I mean, like, our agency, is doing way more right now than our accelerator program, and maybe that's because of the whole Zucks thing and the Facebook embargo or whatever. But I decided that I couldn't stop that. I couldn't not do this training, because this is really what I'm passionate about. I had that level of self-awareness, but B, also because there's too much of a community here, and it's like, it's almost like I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. And so I recommitted to the program, and I started to figure out, okay, well, if I'm not going to just offer a course, right? I don't just want it to be a series of videos that you watch. I think that's rather limiting, right? I was talking to Robert Kiyosaki, and he said that listening is one of the least, smallest or worst ways of being able to learn. And by actually doing, you are able to learn at a much quicker process, or a much quicker pace. And so essentially, what we want to try and do now is not only enable you to just have the intellectual information, but we also want to provide you with the next level is, okay, here's what to actually say. And then the last level of it is, here are the tools that will actually allow you to do it. And so we've talked a lot about strategies. We've talked a lot about, things to say, how to do things. And what we really, both, and I brought John on today because he has the answers. The guy is a genius and has the answers to how these, different pieces work together. But essentially, what we want to focus on moving forward is enabling you guys really to build a chatbot agency, right? And to build a chatbot. I'm going to change this because I think that's a limiting word. I'm going to put empire, right? Because that is now that everybody has woken up to how dumb the congressional people are, what is going to happen is people are going to realize that they need to be utilizing this stuff. Facebook, anytime someone boosts a post, they're turning it into a click to messenger ad, right? So people are going to be getting messages all the time now, and it's a perfect way to be able to highlight how important some of this stuff is. So anyways, I really wanted to give all of you guys who are here just some context to where we're going. And frankly, I'm going to tell you right now, like this might resemble a little bit like of a pitch. And the reason is because we're going to be explaining what's going to be included in the accelerator program moving forward. So moving forward, if you join in the future, right, it's going to be, not the same price that you guys got in, but what's going to be included is these softwares. And so I obviously, I'm going to be talking a lot more about these tools. And similar, frankly, a lot of you guys follow him. So I'll just kind of tell you who I'm modeling. But I think about Russell Brunson, and he is doing an amazing job of not only providing the training of how to do it, right? But he also has the software to be able to do it. So it's not only like, okay, here's what to say. It's also like, here's how to do it. And I frankly think that not only is it selfishly a better business model for him, but it actually creates a better community for us here as well. So hopefully you will forgive me. And of course, there's going to be a couple of people who are already like, well, I already paid you and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, I totally understand that, which is why we are doing kind of the program that we're doing, which is basically you get to test run all of these for $1. I mean, I'll just cut to the chase. But essentially what it will be able to do is it'll help you to be able to generate leads. It'll help you be able to follow up with them. It'll help you be able to convert them, and then it'll also help you to be able to turn your bots into advanced bots, which is pretty, for me a huge thing, because I'm in a position where I can go out and hire a developer, right, and pay a developer to build a bot for me. But there's a long time in my business where I was not paying anybody. And it was like, because I wasn't even getting paid enough. So how am I going to pay anybody else? And so if that's you, we also want to create it to where if you want to do all these things yourself, that it is possible as well. I really wanted to expand off of, okay, I don't just want to give you the information because information only goes so far. I really want to give you the tools, and then even, the next and all of the steps after that. So hopefully you guys will forgive me. Kevin says a lot of online programs just give you a lot of videos to watch. And it's like, that's the thing, is that only goes so far. So not only do that, but I want to give you the scripts, because that's a big part of it too. And I've kind of leaked those out to you over the last couple of weeks, but that's something that we're going to be really promoting in the future marketings of the accelerators. Like, you get over 15 email scripts, you get 4 LinkedIn stuff, you get 6 hours of sales. Like we're going to be promoting a lot more of that stuff too. And so the next level of it is not even just the scripts. It's like, okay, how do I implement this stuff? And that's what we're going to talk about. So guys, on the screen here, I'm curious, which one would be best for you? Do you guys want to learn most about creating advanced bots, being able to accept payments, dynamic payments, being able to track website views, being able to pixel users, things like that? Like, is that helpful for you? We can dig into that today. This is for you guys. We can get into lead conversion, right? We can get into lead conversion and how these things can actually help you convert the leads. We can talk about how the softwares can help you to follow up with them. Or if you're like, man, I just need leads to start with. I need people to talk to, or just people, I need businesses to follow up with. We could talk about that as well. But I'd love to get your guys' input here about it. So lead gen. Okay. So John, are you? I'm gonna see. Promote panelists. John, what's up, man?
I'm here, Hector.
Need businesses follow up with. Shit. Hold on. I always screw this up, guys. I need to mute this other one, so give me a second. All right. John.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm great. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for taking the time to do this, man. I appreciate it. And guys, the reason that John is here is I'm a marketer, but the world of chatbots has grown and expanded, and it's much more unfortunately complex to only deal with quick replies and buttons and tags. If you only are doing quick replies, buttons and tags and basic kind of sequences that may work today, that may be exciting today, but very quickly in the next few months, definitely by the end of next year, by the end of the year and going into next year, those bots are going to be lame. Those bots are going to be the GeoCity websites of today. Whereas if you had a crappy website, people aren't going to do business with you. If you build a crappy or a basic level chatbot that's very, very limited, like some of the platforms that are currently out there, then you are quickly going to get left in the dust. And so if, however, on the other side, if right now you can offer some of these advanced features, then it really separates you from from almost everybody as well. So guys, throw in there and chime in any of your questions, but I really want to talk about what you guys want to talk about here. And let's see. So John, when it comes to lead generation, right? What I really love about your the way that you build stuff is that you are a big problem solver. So like when you think about lead generation, out of the 5 softwares, what's probably the best one? I probably have an idea, but what's probably the best one, or what are probably the most exciting features when it comes to lead generation?
Yeah, so for lead generation, I mean, RoboContact works great, and that's to me, okay. So that I guess that's a little bit of a hard question, but I think it runs hand in hand with what your ability is for your pitch and your sales. So for me, for example, I don't use RoboContact that much for lead generation. Now I have a lot of clients, and even I have a lot of my bot students that they use it for lead generation, and it works great. Now, if you have good sales content, right? Like Hector, for example, I've noticed that you're so great with coming up with your sales content, right? You don't create these big emails. You create a conversation starter is all you do. You go in and you find a little bit of statistics. You find in an ad what people would call it clickbait to get people just interested, just to query that response back, and then start the conversation like that. So if that's something that you're good at, or if that's something that you have access to somebody who's good at to be able to come up with that engaging content, then RoboContact's great for you. I mean, you can start there, and it can do all your lead generation for you and deliver those inbound leads. For me, on the other hand, I don't generate leads like that. I use text and bulk to generate my leads, because in my sales process, I do over $50,000 a month, no shit, in raw sales and services for tier 5. And all of that happens on the phone. Like the way I do so many sales is because I talk to people on the phone. It's not through emails. I hardly ever send any email. Like literally, whenever I do a sale, a sale, my outreach to somebody is, hey, I see you're looking for a developer, or I see you need some development services. I'd love to help. When's a good time for you to talk? That's the most that I ever do. All I ever do is try to get somebody on the phone, because that's my sales process. My sales process is talk to somebody on the phone. Now, I don't know if you watched that video that I sent you, and if you want, we can do that right here live on the video. But if you want to do phone sales, I mean, text in bulk is great, because I mean, right now on the live video, I'd say within 5 to 6 minutes, I guarantee you we'll generate leads. I'll go in and do a search, and I'll have people just automatically start calling me. And then I can give them my pitch, I say, hey, what's up? And just start talking to people, and they'll just keep calling me and calling me.
So let's go through, and we have a couple of them in here. And I've talked about these before, guys, but I have to be fully transparent in saying that we have done a poor job of really explaining the true power of what they can do. And also we've done a poor job of training people on how to do them. So this is going to be a dual. We want to serve 2 purposes, and obviously showing you guys these ones so you can get familiar with them, because they'll be a much larger part of the program going forward. But then also a training in how to use them as well. So when it talks about lead generation and there's 2 softwares. There's RoboContact and Text in Bulk. So if you guys, I'm going to throw the